Hello and welcome to the Milltown Way, the independent Shamrock Rovers podcast covering all things hoops. I'm Ryan Brennan and I'm joined here by Adam Casey. Well, I had a lengthy spell on the sidelines, maybe.
International duty, as you'd call it.
International duty, as you call it. 10 days in Tenerife is the way I'd call it.
That's fair enough.
It's
Can't argue with missing it for that.
Yeah, it was...
Did you book in that annual leave?
I got to see the two games you covered anyways over there, which was the main thing. But yeah, look, I'm back. I'm not tanned anyways, so I didn't do too much tanning over there, but back with a win. I brought I was going to say 3 points, not 3 points, but
The good
brought a
luck,
win with me.
Yeah, they won last Tuesday on the night, but let's hope that we might as well just get into the game straight away, sure, shall we?
Yeah, so we'll cover, obviously we're just recording this just after Rovers beat KF Egnatia of Albania 3-1 in the Europa League third qualifying round, first leg in Tallaght Stadium. We'll look at that. We're going to look at where we think Rovers are now in Europe as they head toward a second leg, a crucial one at that, next week. We won't preview that yet in this episode. We'll preview, of course, Friday's fixture with Dundalk as well. It's the last part, but yeah, as you said, we may as well get into it. Let's waste no time. Rovers beating Egnatia 3-1. Overall thoughts?
I thought it was a good performance, particularly in the second half. They were a lot better than the first, Rovers. But there was a lot of... They could have scored 5 or 6.
Yeah, this is the issue that it's only kind of a nagging maybe, or nagging feeling that I'm having thinking about this game, or since the full-time whistle, and said it to you as soon as the kind of full-time whistle rang out, that it's just a slight, I hope we don't regret missing all them chances that we did have, because as I said, it could have been 5 or 6 on another night. Rovers had enough chances in that second half to kind of put the game to bed and just, make that trip to Albania next week just more of a routine, just absorb pressure and, don't have a banana peel moment. But the fact that Rovers go to Albania next week with a 2-goal cushion and they've lost by 2 goals in 2 of their away European fixtures so far, just a little bit concerning. But of course, look, as I said, as we said to each other, perform kind of like that next week, they'll have no issues, but it's a different as well. It's a different ball game.
It's never the worry that if they perform like that they'll lose. It's the worry that if they perform like that.
Exactly, that's the main concern. But yeah, look, reflecting on tonight, as you did say, first half not so good, second half more than, so I'd say, very good.
I think the first kind of 10-15 they were very good.
Yeah, so the impression I got was that there was an additional eagerness from Rovers to get on top, put more pressure on Egnatia to kind of put the game to bed.
Yeah.
It seemed like they came out the blocks, as you said, and I think the mindset of it was
get a goal early.
Yeah, let's make sure there's not much to do next week, and look, they've done quite a good job at that.
Well, we know the advantage that Rovers have when they play in Tallaght.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that crowd, the crowds just offer a 12th man.
Yeah, well, even looking at the league this season, they've only drew 2 games and lost 1 at home.
Yeah,
out of 12. So 9 wins out of 12 at home.
Can't argue too much. Tallaght does have it. That's it. Tallaght has such a huge element, I think, on the squad. I don't think that can be understated. So, and not all teams that Rovers have come up against or will come up against, particularly in Europe, have that element.
Yeah.
For example, Floriana, there wasn't a huge atmosphere from the Floriana fans.
No.
That kind of drives them on. Similar story kind of with the Ararat Armenia game. Watching that, didn't seem like they had a huge kind of core fan base that was loud the whole 90 minutes that could be heard anyways from the telly.
Mm-hmm.
And well, look, obviously with Egnatia, I think it'll be similar to Floriana and Ararat Armenia. I don't think Egnatia will be going to Tirana next week, having a packed out stadium, getting on Rovers back. I don't see that. And obviously it just kind of hinges as well on maybe football in different countries and kind of fan culture in different areas. So look, we're lucky as Rovers supporters that that is a thing. Like it's strong in Ireland. It's strong with Rovers, and you see it the flags, the ultras, the flares when they are snuck in. I know
Yeah,
the fans don't always bring them in because obviously it can cause repercussions for the club financially too. So
that's true.
but yeah, so Rovers have that luxury that Tallaght can be a 12th man. It was tonight. It was quite loud tonight, I thought, and good atmosphere.
Yeah,
Um,
very good atmosphere tonight.
yeah, and I know there was a concern about ticket sales throughout the week.
Yeah,
It was being reported that there was only as late as I think maybe yesterday. What day are we today? Tuesday. I think it was yesterday. I was seeing kind of complaints online that there might be only around 3,000 tickets sold,
yeah,
and that there was kind of speculation that Bows might be bringing more to Tallaght on Thursday for
hmm
their game against Midtjylland. I look, we won't get into that in this episode
no,
of numbers of attendances and stuff, but it was good to see that. I think ticket sales seem to go quite well. Then it's
yeah,
if there were 3,000 yesterday or so, it looked like there was quite a lot. I think that looked very close to around five.
yeah. It
Just
did. There
looking at
was
it, I
quite
don't
a
know,
few,
like
and it was very loud as well.
yeah, and that's the main thing is that you get there and you do try spur on the team to perform, and they did. And Rovers obviously repaid them, but um, weird things in the first half weren't so good. Like yeah, look, Rovers did come out with the blocks. I do think
Sorry,
the
just real quickly, the attendance figure was 5,047
I'm really
according to RTE.
I'm really good at this. It
You were
just
just counting the people,
I gave it the ocular pat down and
the
I went with
retinal
that.
assessment.
There you go. So 5,000. So
That's
that's
good
great.
turnout. Yeah,
Now look, of course, we'd all want
the
it to be
full. Yeah,
sold out for these games and stuff, but I suppose we do have to be. Well, I wouldn't say realistic. I just think look, the crowds come depending on the opponents. It's also there's various
it's a
elements.
Tuesday night. It's
Yeah, look, there's various elements to why these attendances can go up and down. As I said, it's probably a topic we will. I think that's a topic for an episode definitely down the line. But
yeah,
in the lead up to Rovers' goal, I thought they started well, but just kind of not too long before the goal, I don't think Rovers created too much.
yeah. Their kind of attacking plans have kind of petered out just before. It kind of slowed down just a little bit, and Ignatia, I don't know how you say it
I'm
properly.
going to go with Ignatia. I think it just
Ignatia seems
rolls off
right.
the tongue a bit more.
Yeah, they were starting to get in a little bit more at Rovers at that point, and yeah, it was just seemed like that quick start was coming to a close, and then uh,
Well, 27
penalty.
minutes in, then
Yeah, it was kind
Rovers
of a
awarded a penalty.
collision. Yeah, collision between Dylan Watts and one of the Ignatia defenders. He kind of came in from behind, but at first I wasn't sure. I didn't know. I don't know. I didn't think it was gonna be even looked at first.
Yeah, it's tough,
It's tough when it's down the far end as
and
well.
you're seeing it just in real time, and
Yeah, you don't get a replay or anything.
no, so yeah, I thought I didn't think like look coming away from it and seeing it and stuff. I didn't think it was soft, but
No,
in the moment, I thought yeah,
that's what I
maybe it
mean.
wasn't
When
enough
I
to
saw it
warrant a
first time, I
penalty.
was like, oh, I just didn't think it was gonna get checked. But
Yeah, I didn't think it would
yeah,
make, and particularly yeah, like was it enough to warrant a penalty from
yeah,
just as in from our first kind of reaction.
yeah. That's
But obviously look at a penalty. Graham Burke dispatches.
yeah, history
Um,
maker.
yeah, the history maker.
Yeah,
All Irish all time top goal scorer in European competitions.
yeah,
Now has 16 goals. So that's a huge honour for Graham Burke as well. I'm sure he's very proud of that. If he should
yeah.
be. Huge congratulations to Burke as well. He's been tremendous the whole time. There's no
Yeah.
doubt about it. And he's
Just a
tremendous
legend.
today.
Just a legend.
He's just like
He's Graham Burke.
he's literally thank you for saving my life.
Yeah.
Literally Graham Burke. But yeah, it was nice to see that he got that goal that put him literally in the history books if he wasn't there already. And anyways,
But kind of right after that was then
right 2 minutes after they
yeah,
had a good chance,
they had a
particularly.
header that was just glanced wide.
Yeah,
And at that point it was a little bit worrying. It was like
from Daniel Jessa
okay.
maybe is what I go with.
Yeah, well it just seemed like they were just gonna when they done that right after, because obviously it says 2 minutes after, and by the time the team gets going after tip,
Mm.
it felt like it was nearly the next play. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
launched straight up and header in, and on another day, that's in the back of the net, and
And
bang, it's 1-1 again.
also on another note, for Jessa, or if that's if that's what the
Yeah,
pronunciation we're going with, Daniel Jessa is that he was a striker number 2, like
yeah, I don't like that.
playing up front, and his number was 2. I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
What's like
Come on now.
that was just something that bugged me, anyways. But yeah, as we've said, yeah, literally 2 minutes later from the goal, anyways. And I didn't. It was 7 minutes later that Sabawale brings down a man in the box. Was given a card for diving initially, but my instant reaction was, because that was up in our end, that was a stonewall penalty, and this was going to be not. It wouldn't take too long, and it'd be overturned, and that's exactly what
happened. Yeah, and it was a penalty given.
You weren't too sure at the time.
I wasn't sure at first, but yeah,
it's kind of football's like art. Everyone can look at it and have a different opinion. Well, no, I don't know. I think that one, if you probably
that one, you obviously have to review.
Yeah,
and it wasn't the
Didn't take too
booking. It
long
was sorry, it wasn't a booking for the dive, and it was for him complaining afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was for him.
Right. 'Cause I thought it seemed quite quick, so I just had presumed.
It was never taken away. Then the yellow.
That's what I was thinking.
That's what I don't know what. That's what VAR is. That a thing? Like, if someone complains about something, but then they go back and I don't know.
It's still the fact that they shouldn't be complaining. I suppose.
I know.
But yeah,
it's a weird one because if you think about it, like, he wouldn't have had to complain if they had it just
exactly if they just gave the right decision.
Yeah. It's like, when they stop it for a foul that happened.
Yeah, and they wipe out the yellow and stuff. Yeah, that's it. But like, yeah, I that came into my mind as well after. I was like, he didn't wipe out that yellow card, and then I was like, because the way they normally do the whole, not that this is Adam's able to see me here.
Yeah,
they throw their arms like across to say the yellow's been cancelled. I had noted that you didn't do that for that yellow, and because as I said, I thought that was for a dive. But yes, obviously, look, they dispatched the penalty in anyways, and that just kind of took the wind out of the sails, didn't it? Really?
Yeah, it wasn't
from Guillem James maybe.
Jamie.
I don't know why I don't know why I try to pronounce the names of our European opponents, but here we are. Maybe Jamie, is it? It's just spelled differently to what?
Jaime, I don't know.
Jaime.
Barcelona, from the Barcelona academy is.
There you go. That's why he scored.
Messi.
Well, they didn't dispatch the penalty though, did they?
No.
Actually, yeah, that's it.
Very unlucky for Ed McGinty.
Yeah,
it's a good save, and it just couldn't get his fingers to it.
Yeah, that was very messy. It was McGinty makes a save, does really well to save the penalty as well. Because we all know, keepers aren't a favourite in a direct penalty. But he does well to save it. Whoever's quickest to react really is going to get the better of it. And I'll say Jamie then.
Yeah.
He's the first to react, and literally he kind of just has a little dink, and I think he knows because the Rovers backline are rushing to get on the line. He knows it's going to hit them before they turn around, meaning it's going to directly go into the net.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, really, really gutting for Ed McGinty, I think, because
you have to think as well, the ball's probably a bit slippy from the grass, from the rain as well.
Yeah,
small stuff like that would matters in situations like that. If it hadn't rained, would that have been a goal?
They were VAR checking weather conditions.
Yeah, but no, I do feel bad for Ed there. The ball seemed to just...
I think it would have been big for him as well, because look, Ed's come under a little bit of scrutiny as of late.
He has, yeah.
So if he had to stop that, and if it had remained there, I think that would have given him a huge confidence boost. Look, not that he particularly needs it. He has had moments where he probably should be doing better lately, but look, he's...
There's one in the first half where he just didn't hold the ball.
Leads to a corner.
Yeah, he went up for it.
That was in the lead up. Yeah, that was another thing with this goal, was Rovers had put themselves for a period under unnecessary sustained pressure from Egnatia that kind of just invited them in. Like that McGinty had... Like that, yeah, so that came at an even more kind of critical time, because you had McGinty going up to catch the ball, he lets it slip through his hand and it leads to a corner.
Yeah.
There was a goal kick then in particular that he finds Sabawale out on the wing, but Sabawale can't really control it. It seemed like a tough ball to control for Sabawale. Yeah. Ends up becoming dispossessed. They earn another corner from that. So yeah, there was a couple of moments that came at a critical time, but look, McGinty he done all he could for the penalty and for the goal itself. But yeah, that kind of drew out the first half at 1-1. The thoughts for myself and anyways was that Rovers were quite mediocre. They had bright spells and they did start well, like you said. They kind of came out with a bit more kind of fire
Yeah,
in the first half, as the game started, to try put maybe Egnatia behind them, but couldn't do it. And I don't know your halftime thoughts. Mine at 1-1 halftime thought. I was being quite a little bit pessimistic and thinking it's just going to go out of Rovers' way.
yeah. I don't know. I think especially with the timing of when they scored, it was as they always it's best time to score.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
just going into that second half, I wasn't as confident as would have liked to be. But
I think I was letting the thoughts of on the second leg is in Albania.
yeah, it's
That
that and
was always
that
on
and then the
mind.
record of Rovers India away legs in Europe this season.
Yeah,
I think is what contributed. Like if they hadn't have lost the two away legs by 2 goals, I think
yeah,
going into halftime, it felt like there was a bit of more urgency about them. Like they had to win tonight.
yeah. But the second half was good, really good. Um, you have literally within 2 minutes of the second half, you have a ball in from Jack Byrne to find
Yeah,
then to Stevens. He had a great headed effort that looked like he was going out for a corner until somehow it was free kick, free out for.
yeah.
I don't know
I
how.
don't get that. Yeah, that was
Referee had
poor.
some poor decisions. I
In the
don't like to
second
give
half, there
refs
was some
too.
poor. Yeah,
Don't like to give the refs too much. Put them under too much scrutiny. But I thought the ref was a little bit poor today.
yeah, and a few the linesmen as well. With a few. Obviously, we didn't have a perfect call, but it felt like there was a period where every time Rovers got a true ball, they were offside.
There was 9 offsides for Rovers in the game.
Yeah, there you go. You
Um,
never see that many.
it just seemed like every single thing was everyone was offside. I don't think there was anyone onside at one point.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, a few minutes after that, end of Stevens headed attempt, and you had Matt Healy strike one from outside the box. It hits Aaron Green's foot on the way, and obviously Aaron Green was in an offside position. Not that it was on purpose, but I don't. To me, that looked like it was destined to be going into the bottom left corner,
yeah,
and that was kind of gutting that it hit Aaron Green on the way, and obviously prevents that from happening. Not to say it would have went in, but it looked like it was going right in there.
yeah,
Um, but look, literally just 4 minutes later, Rovers found themselves 2-1 up from a corner. Who else but the World Cup hero,
yeah. The man himself,
Roberto Lopez?
man of the people.
Yeah,
Just see, I seen an article about how like ESPN and other big international like sports journalists, like ESPN, I think it was Fox Sports and one or two others, had articles about Pico getting sent off on Friday.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
because
thought I
he's
seen. I feel like I saw something about
yeah,
something,
there
but
was an Australian one as well. I can't, had it up as well.
covering that Pico got sent off against Drogheda.
Yeah, and having the tackle and stuff, which yeah, it wasn't a great tackle, but yeah, I know it's mad, isn't it?
Well, no, I didn't see them that well. I wasn't. I was in Tenerife, but
Yeah,
well, anyone else was there. I didn't see them. I wouldn't say they saw them in Sullivan and Lamb Park
no,
doing shepherd's
I don't think
pie.
I don't think I don't think ESPN were there for that. But yeah, no, I seen it was ESPN and Fox Sports. They're two big ones in America.
Yeah.
But yeah, just on the topic of the offsides for a sec, 9 offsides. I was just curious there about like the most offsides in a game.
Okay.
Just what you reckon?
Most offsides in a game, is this between two
By
teams or
one
just for a
team,
singular
one team.
singular team? Uh, Surely it'd be something like 15, 16.
Just I don't know. I'm gonna have to like look into this, but you know the French team Nantes
Yeah.
have the most times offside by club in a match in Europe's top 5 leagues, with 60 times offside in League One versus Monaco on August 6, 2021.
Yeah.
60. Second place is 14.
What?
Yeah,
What happened that day?
I don't know. I
Surely.
can't find anything about it. Anyway,
Rovers weren't too far off. I don't think at one point I thought we were on nearly 60. Um, but yeah, Rovers go 2-1 up from the World Cup legend, Roberto Lopez.
yeah.
Um,
Some of these corners from Jack Byrne tonight were lovely.
well, literally 2 minutes later, the same thing happened. And
Aaron
it
Green.
was another corner. And guess what? It was another goal.
Another, the man himself, Aaron Green.
Yeah, from my viewing of it, I thought
It kind of looked like
I thought it was just kind of Jack Byrne hit the corner and then like kind of just deflected in. I
Yeah, I
didn't think it
didn't.
hit a Rovers player, so I thought it was going to be
Yeah,
Jack's goal or
or
my
maybe
own
he got
goal.
the last touch and then kind of deflected in. Like
Yeah,
you
but either
know,
way, you're not complaining
no.
how it goes in once it goes in.
And Aaron Green proven again in these European games that
He always comes up.
he can show up when needed,
Yeah,
despite being an older lad.
yeah, that's true. He's Aaron Green always has it in him, really, to be honest, to produce on a European stage, and he does it time and again. I think sometimes he can have critics for maybe not being as quick on the pitch as others, but you have to,
And then you get subbed off right after then.
yeah, but you do have to, I suppose.
But I reckon that's because I bet you he'll be playing on Friday night. I think.
Yeah, he could do.
Yeah, I
He's
think he'll be
required,
starting
like
again.
he's 36 years of age.
I know.
Like you wouldn't, whatever about everyone's opinion. I don't think you look at Aaron Green and do think he's 36 though.
No,
That's
he's aging like a fine wine. But
um
yeah, Jonathan Afolabi would come on.
yeah, Afolabi who
Should have scored
missed
about
this
2 minutes on.
missed the sitter.
Yeah, I don't think he had some other chances where defenders got blocks or he just didn't get hit him right. But
Yeah,
it was the first one that when he first came on, he should have scored.
yeah, that was on about 65 minutes, and not long before that, Will Fitzgerald had a chance. Well, he nearly had a chance to try put in an empty net, he doesn't reach it, but yeah, just one of them. And Greenberg clear, well, not clear on goal. That's why he kind of finds Afolabi. He finds Afolabi very well as
Yeah,
well. Nice kind of measured pass, but yeah, Afolabi probably should be doing better there, and that would have
yeah.
might have kickstarted him then
And give
to
him the confidence boost
kick
because
on.
in the early days with a new team, confidence tends to be at a lower than for most. So yeah, I think it was unlucky and it probably would have helped him just kick on and kind of get on the score sheet for Rovers for the first time and just would help his confidence going forward.
Yeah, 100%. Um, and look, we'd see Rovers, well, time and time again, knock on the door to make it 4-1, but they never found the net. A couple
No,
more chances. Will Fitzgerald did hit a rebound, and keeper literally palms it off the line.
I know that was a great save.
Yeah,
He kind of made a balls of it for it to even get out there,
yeah, he did.
but he done well to recover and get the save.
And it's one of them. Like I know there's VAR, but it's like goal line technology.
I don't know actually.
Yeah, because I don't think it did go over the line.
No,
From what we saw, and anyways, but then you had a couple of minutes after that, Afolabi had cut in from the right, and Razzie leaves it for Jake Mulroney. He has a curling
yeah,
effort, but it goes wide.
yeah, that one was unlucky. That was very close. Oh no, that wasn't that one. Sorry, there was one a few minutes later that he
Your thoughts on Jake
put.
Mulroney today? First half, he played the second
Uh,
half. I mean, full half.
there was some moments of there were some good moments. There was like that first one when Naj Razi's play to hold on to the ball was very nice. It
Yeah,
was brilliant for him to keep it. I think that chance he could have done, but he should be hitting the target there.
yeah.
From his position, but he was leaning back the whole time. That's the big thing of the leaning back.
Yeah, it's always going to kind of put you up against it a little bit, isn't
Yeah, it's just he did. There was one then later towards the end where he done really well. It was around the 89th minute, where he tried to curl it into the far corner,
it? Yeah,
and it was just inches wide. That was nice, but I feel like it just feels like he's never gonna get his goal. It just
yeah.
feels like it just doesn't
Give him
seem to
time.
go his way sometimes.
Give him time.
How long do you say give him time for?
Look, Mulroney has his critics. You can
Yeah,
hear it every time. You don't have to be.
he's got a lot of them yet.
Yeah. He had another one a chance about 12 minutes after that. Cut in. He has an effort. He drifts just wide. Kind of his routine trademark. Cut in, and then right at the death in stoppage time, Danny Mondroyo clear on goal. Seems to lose his footing.
Yeah,
When
and
it
then
comes.
tried to claim for a penalty.
Yeah, I I don't know if he did too much though. He
No, I think
looked.
it's just he kind of fell and went like that. More maybe
Yeah, I think
out.
he's more frustrated with himself. And look,
Yeah,
obviously Danny was on, on the road to coming back
yeah,
after ACL injury in November,
which
in that
is
cup final. So like it's going to be a long road back for Mandroy. I think just to like obviously it's already been a long road for him to come back, but I think it'd be even longer until you see Danny kind of at his full capacity again. Like
Yeah, I
that
agree.
takes a
Yeah,
while, you know.
it takes a while, especially after. It takes a while after any injury, let alone an ACL, which is just on another level when it comes to an injury. Like it's players take their whole career to recover from them.
Yeah, but that was it then from Tuesday in Tallaght, 3-1 win, and yeah, look, Rovers have a 2-goal cushion to go to Albania with. Just want to
Yeah,
hope that they show up a little bit in a similar
yeah.
fashion. Then
It just can't be like the other two away European games this season.
no, you don't want to be going, and you particularly don't want to be going into extra time in that territory. You want
No,
to get it done in the 90, particularly because obviously the Sunday
packed in the
after
cup.
a trip to Richmond Park in the cup.
Yeah, nice 2 o'clock on a Sunday though. I
That's
like that.
yeah, I do and I don't.
I do for the fact that it's 2 o'clock out of convenience. Like it's 2 o'clock on a Sunday. It's nice, but for the players' sake, it's close
That's
enough
tough.
after.
Like that's like they're coming back from Albania having to play at 2 o'clock on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only issue with it. Other than that, if Rovers weren't playing on the Thursday, or if they were playing Wednesday or
Yeah,
Tuesday in Albania, it wouldn't bother me. But yeah, the fact that it's quite a big quick turnaround, like you'd imagine what they might fly home the night of the game, like some of the club charts have done. I don't know. There's
yeah.
been no kind of information around the club chart at the moment, I don't think, for Albania, but
I reckon it would be.
yeah, it's a tough place to get to.
Yeah,
It's not the Ryanair doesn't go there,
no.
so you've a bit of a trickier task at hand. But
Yeah,
yeah, look, we'll move on to a bit more, but maybe of a broader conversation around Shamrock Rovers
yeah,
on this European stage. Obviously, I wasn't here for the fallout of the Ararat Armenia defeat, the 3-2 defeat on aggregate. Obviously, Rovers winning 2-1 on the night, but because of that mountain they had to climb
mm-hmm.
from Yerevan, that they lost 2-0, meaning that they had to do it all again. And it looked like they were going to do it all again. At half time, being 2 up, level on aggregate, you think this is only a matter of time.
Thought
How did it
Lightning was
feel?
striking twice.
How did exactly? How did it feel on the ground on the night?
It was so loud up until they scored.
Yeah,
It was so loud for the whole first half because Rovers were giving everyone the cheer. And I talked about this in the last episode.
yeah.
The crowd did wane and get quieter longer and longer, and the second half went on because Rovers just weren't really creating a lot in the second half. They weren't good enough in that second half at all.
It's even
And then once Ararat scored, I think the whole stadium just knew that was it. It was near silence.
what frustrates me from that element is, and this is like from because look, it all both of them go hand in hand. You know,
Yeah.
like which we always say. And anyway, supporters need something to cheer about, get
Yes.
behind. So Rovers on that, the onus is on Rovers in that element to create chances to fast football, maybe attacking football. On the other hand, sometimes Rovers, if they're maybe if it's a bit strong of a word, I don't know, capitulating on the pitch,
Yeah.
that they were falling behind the entire Armenia, then you need the supporters to get in there and be the 12th man and make it loud and spur the team on. That's the job of supporters, is
Yeah, it's a spur your team, huh?
exactly, and support them.
Yeah.
It's in the name. So
Cheers.
Cheers, Jeff. So yeah, so on that, but they go hand in hand. So the fact that and what he added even more so the frustration was that it was only a goal to change the outcome. Even if we
Yeah.
just went to extra time, it goes to extra time. Then fair enough. We got you play an extra half an hour to try to keep stay in the Champions League qualifiers.
Yeah, it's when you put it like that, yeah.
Yeah, like it's one goal. It takes one moment, to do it, and then it would have been going on to face Cells, who we're obviously familiar with,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe would have had the beatings of them. Who knows? Look, it didn't work out like that, but I suppose the fallout, and you went through some of the feedback we
Yeah.
got in the last episode as well of
From some of the fans.
some of the fans of what their thoughts and feelings were and voicing their frustrations.
A lot of my frustration was some of it to do with game management and substitutions,
Yeah,
which I think was valid enough.
yeah. I didn't really read when I read, as in when I read through all of them.
Yeah.
I didn't really read any and disagree. Like I think
No.
everyone had a valid point. There was no really this
Yeah.
one's right and this one's wrong. It was like all of them were kind of, as I didn't come across any that I thought this is absolutely not incorrect, and that, so it all speaks to a louder issue, I suppose. And look, obviously, every day is a school day.
Yeah.
Look, it's costly for Rovers. It is, and we all still a bit sore about it, I suppose. Still a bit sour about it. If Rovers end up qualifying for the Europa League, and anyways, well then that's a different.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit sour, but a bit less. It'll
Yeah,
sweeten it that bit.
exactly. You just put a
But
little sweetener in there.
yeah, I just think, yeah, well, it's just a little bit disappointing. That's all it was. And as I think we should get into now, and what we were going to talk about is it the standard for Rovers in Europe gone up a level now?
Yeah,
The
so
expected standard. Is Conference League now, qualifying for Conference League now seen as the bare minimum?
it seems to be.
It seems to be. What, two
Yeah,
years in a row?
yeah,
It's a pattern. Like, realistically, if they get it this year, ideally everyone wants Europa League. Europa League, one, more money for the club,
yeah.
which is brilliant.
This would be the third year in a row Rovers qualified.
Yeah,
It'd be the fourth since the 22-23 campaign. Be the fifth time overall because they qualified, of course, for 2011-12 Europa
Europa
League.
League. So it'll only be a second time qualifying for Europa League. Like, when you look at it, the Conference League was designed for clubs like Rovers
Hmm.
in smaller leagues, in traditionally smaller leagues than
Hmm.
your big fives in Europe. So I think the fact that Rovers are winning the league nearly year in, year out.
Hmm.
Like, if you look at it, if Rovers win the league this year, it'll be, what, 6 league titles in 7 years?
Yeah.
You should expect a team who's dominating the league that much to be getting Conference League as a minimum.
Hmm.
I think so. I do think it's nearly becoming the minimum, and it shows just how well Bradley's doing that. And he's always talking about elevating and getting that next goal.
Yeah.
And I do think Europa League is that logical next goal.
Yeah, I think so. And they're all good points that you've made, because when you look at it, like you think back to I think we said it on this last year. Um, and, when he mentioned it after, I think it was winning the double,
Yeah,
about targeting Europa League
yeah,
next year, and here we are now. Look, it's a bit more of a mountain to climb, I think, because look, Rovers, had they made the third round of the Champions League, I mean, that would have meant Europe,
yeah,
guaranteed.
guaranteed.
It would have meant as well that there's a, like, Rovers would have came up against Sales, and I can't stop looking back on that and thinking that
Yeah, I know.
potentially Rovers
Especially
could have been
after
in.
the Arats beating Sales tonight
Yeah, so
in the
like
first leg.
you can't help but look at it and think Rovers could have been in a playoff for the
And the
Champions
first leg
League.
in Tallaght as well, I think kind of would have lended.
Hmm.
I know you typically want to be at home in the second leg, but I think with how Rovers have been poorly performing in the way like so far, I think the fact Rovers would have been at home against Sales first, I think would have actually been a better
Yeah.
outcome.
Now, we don't want to put a sour note on this 3-1 win also,
No,
again, because when you think about it, Ignatia ran Sells the distance.
yeah,
They drew 3-all and 2-all in their respective legs, went to penalties after extra time, went to penalties, it was only
I
penalties.
don't think it's a sour note. I think it's a credit to Rovers that we're
Yeah, I just can't
talking
help
about
but
it like
think
this.
that was a missed opportunity.
It was, it was.
That's the only sour part of it.
Yeah, but I do think it's a missed opportunity. But if we do get Europa League, I think it'll be forgotten pretty quick.
Yeah,
Football fans are quite fickle.
we are.
Yeah, we change our opinions pretty quickly. Like,
Yeah,
if it's the Europa League, I think people would quickly forget about it. There will always be that little bit of, well, maybe we could have, but
what could have been.
I think if Rovers get Europa League, it will also then just continue the rise in standards and wanting to hit that new level each and every season. And Europa League, Champions League, would it have been a step too far? Like, would you want to get Champions League and then get embarrassed every week? Or would you rather
You need
Europa?
that money.
It's the money, yeah. That's the thing, yeah.
That's what, like, because it's funny as well. So, when I was in Tenerife watching the
Yeah,
matches, shout out as well to the Hoops Bar. People might be familiar with that if they're listening. It's a Celtic bar though.
yeah,
It's a different Hoops.
yeah,
Um, However, they got chatting to a good few people in there, who are all predominantly Scottish and all big Celtic fans. now they've become accustomed now because obviously if you win the Scottish League, qualify directly. Sorry, not anymore, but you were directly qualifying for the Champions League for
Yeah,
league phase or group stage as it was. But they said that point of they made that point of they'd rather be in the Europa League, a chance something they have a chance of winning.
mm.
But Rovers aren't anywhere near that. So
No, yeah, I
this is
suppose.
this would have been
Yeah,
this would have been the great story of qualifying for the Champions League. Look, not to say we would have, even had we got past Ararat. I mean, still would have been
no, yeah,
two more rounds to get there. However, it's just one of these that I just can't help but look at and think this was an opportunity missed. That Rovers, there's a chance Rovers could have been the first team to qualify for Champions League.
yeah. History.
Like because would have had Celje in the third round, would have had Malby, I'm going to go with, of Sweden, or Slovan Bratislava,
Yeah,
obviously familiar foes to Rovers in the playoffs. Can't say that they're
I think it's
entirely
probably
undoable, but either
no, it's
way,
probably
then
the
you had the
best
Europa
draw that
League.
they had the possibility of getting. Really.
Yeah, so look, if you're well equipped to Champions League in the budget, which clubs like Celtic are,
Yeah,
fair enough. You want to aim for something that you might have a chance of winning. Rovers, I know, like Ireland as a whole, it's not even a criticism of Rovers.
no.
Like the FAI released a development plan, not too like I think it was in the last 5 years, with a target of an Irish club qualifying for the Champions League in the next 20 years.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
So I just every time every time it, it falls, and every time it's confirmed we're not getting an Irish club in the Champions League. Look, it's not as if it's the aim when it started off. No one when Rovers were drawn against Florian in the first round, no one said right Champions League's the aim.
yeah.
But it's just that kind of dream thought, I suppose, maybe of
And I think the fashion in which the win over Floriana happened added to that as well.
mm,
With it being so dramatic and everything, it adds to the story. Like if
yeah,
it just it's just like if they had of them went on to qualify, it just adds to the story and the
yeah,
really historic feeling of it.
yeah. I think look, Rovers, as you've said, expectations have risen. It's to come with the territory of
Yeah,
winning the league on a kind of rather consistent basis.
yeah,
It's to come with look at the talent Rovers have, the players they have, the
yeah,
development of young players. The addition of younger signings, your Adam Brennans,
yeah,
a couple of other lads have come in that haven't even got a chance yet, and will in due course, and we'll probably reap the rewards. But yeah, it's a compliment in that sense that, as I said, these expectations are rising. I do think Rovers have become a club now that are at a stage where I think, and it's a good thing. Look, this is a compliment. As much as maybe it might not come across like it, I do think Rovers now are at a stage where conference league has to be the minimum.
hmm
If everything else is a plus, I think to slightly even edge towards that, I would actually probably go a step further to say maybe is the expectation getting out of now the league phase because of
yeah,
that new format that
yeah,
only after 6 games, what is it, 12 teams? Yeah, 12 teams go out after 6 games. You
yeah,
have the top
yeah,
24
yeah.
still advancing.
30, yeah.
Um, so I think is it too far afield to say Rovers should be in that top
No,
24?
no.
Obviously, look, Rovers were unlucky when they ran Mould, to penalties. That was just that comes out the pot luck then if you're losing on a penalty shootout.
Yeah,
And that was gutting as well. But the fact that Rovers ran a Mould team to penalties is a huge
yeah,
compliment as well. You can't forget that. Um, so yeah, look, it's one of them that I think look, dust yourselves. We need to dust ourselves off of that error at Armenia and kind of put it in the rear view as a learning curve. Go all out next week in Albania against Egnatia, and hopefully then if that goes well, it'll be a tie against Lillestrøm,
yeah,
which appear to be a decent side and maybe not a less favourable draw. They're only entering this round as well, so
yeah.
that might be a tough task.
You can
But
hope there's a little bit of rustiness then as well.
yeah, but of course then once we get past Ignatia, if we do, it does mean Rovers qualified for Europe, of course, as well.
Guaranteed,
Yeah,
yeah. So
um,
next week's a big one.
yeah, it is. Which obviously, look, we'll look ahead to it in the next episode. But now, for the meantime,
We might as well look ahead to this Friday's fixture.
what's coming up in the league? Matters return to domestic football, and that is Rovers facing Dundalk.
Yeah.
On Friday, 8 p.m. in Tallaght Stadium.
Another loud team.
Another,
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
After last week, yeah, Dundalk.
Don Virgin as well.
That was
That's
it
why it's,
again,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I was going to say that's why it's an 8 p.m. kickoff, but normally in Tallaght it is 8
Yeah,
p.m.
it's always 8 p.m. in Tallaght,
Yeah.
usually. Yeah, Dundalk, obviously, Rovers have played them now twice this season, but yet to get a win.
Yeah.
A 1-1 draw in Tallaght early in February, and then a 1-0 loss in the world's worst stadium, Oriole Park.
That's Hanoi. Still getting PTSD.
The worst.
Hopefully Bradley's not paying any more stewards to waterlog the pitches. After that rumour came about from the first time Rovers, and
yeah, I remember that though.
well, I don't know the entirety of that because I think some staff got let go from Tallaght Stadium. I'd say.
Okay, maybe we should move on.
But yeah, look, obviously another big game. It's important. Look, obviously it's easy to get kind of drawn out in this European context as well. Kind of get wound up in that. But you look, if you have to, domestic football is obviously what leads to all this. So if Rovers fell off somehow, say in the league or capitulated there, well, then you wouldn't be having the Champions League and your Europa League fallback and your Conference League fallback. You'd only be in the Conference League. And look, obviously Rovers have done it.
Yeah.
And they've been there and done that. But you obviously look, you don't want it to be falling on that. So yeah, another big game on Friday. They don't stop, and as we keep saying,
suffering from success.
Yeah, but as we keep saying, it does seem just a quick turnaround. Tuesday, Friday.
Yeah.
That's why we're here, recording at nearly 12 o'clock at night. To have it out in time for people to listen to. But it does seem quick. But even though you'd have Rovers have more of a rest period between now to Dundalk than they do between Egnatia and Pats.
It just feels less.
So I think it's 2 midweek days, and that's what throws that feeling slightly. But yeah, Rovers obviously sitting top of the table at the moment, 7 points clear. Pats failed to kind of take any advantage of their 2 games in hand, dropping points on both occasions. And Pats, well, I think there's a bit of a dilemma going there of if they want Stephen Kenny to be relieved of his duties at Richmond Park as well.
Yeah, that's a whole other story.
Yeah, and Robert's coming up against his former club as well in Dundalk. Dundalk sitting, as you were saying, they're in that chase and pack of Europe, but they're a little bit away, 7 points off Bows. But of course, depending on maybe the cup winners, if the FAI Cup winners are in the top 3, does mean Dundalk would be at the moment rewarded with a place in Europe.
Yeah,
I would say, it's not to say, look, they were expecting anything poor or anything, but I feel like they've still slightly been overachieving this first season back. I know they're only a year out, but I do just think, I don't know, I'd look at it and think, to sit fourth, they were in that top 3 for a while as well, and they kind of just fell away a bit.
Yeah,
they're sitting 3 points above Shelbourne. Shelbourne have a game in hand.
Yeah,
they have that better goal difference too.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, well, with Rovers, I think as well. With Rovers' place in the table, after the drop in points last weekend, neither of the teams really chasing them were able to gain.
Yeah,
as they all drew on the Sunday as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, a loss for Shelbourne actually. Not there really.
It's not
chasing Rovers.
Not too sunshine and roses over there.
No, they're a different story altogether.
It's sunshine and Rovers. Dundalk without a win in their last 5 league games. The last win came at Dalymount Park on the 19th of June. They've since lost 3-2 to Waterford, 2-1 to Shelbourne, 2-1 to Drogheda, drew 1-1 with Pats, and drew 1-1 with Sligo. So they're not coming in the best of form. Their one win in the last 6 games was against St. Mocta's in the FAI Cup, winning 3-1 there. But so they're not a bit more. I think Rovers they need to be winning on Friday.
Yeah,
don't think you can sugarcoat that too much. They're coming up against, as I said, a side out of form. Even as I said, they have been, I would say, slightly overperformed, but their form is a little bit dipped at the moment.
Yeah. Uh, I just don't like Dundalk very much, but that's one
I
thing.
think it's because of Oriel Park.
Yeah, I suppose like that stadium just rubs me the wrong way. But one man, I suppose Rovers need to keep an eye on is obviously Daryl Horgan.
Daryl Horgan, yeah. Well,
Most assists in the league, combined goals and assists, most goals contributions.
yeah, I was going to say as well, Trevor Clark. Obviously, he only
Yeah,
recently made the move to Dundalk.
yeah. Hopefully he gets a nice reception.
Yeah, so, yeah. Players don't normally do. They don't normally get
No,
nice reception when they come back with a different club. However, I think with Trevor's situation, like I don't see any reason why he shouldn't get a nice reception. Like
no.
he wasn't like he had obviously his history with injuries and stuff as
Yeah,
well. There's no sugarcoating that, and that's what really kind of limited his numbers. But the fact that he's already actually getting into the Dundalk squad shows that
yeah,
like look he has been ready, but it's just maybe then look there's obviously plenty of options for Rovers in the positions because he obviously would have been occupying a wing back position as well, and
yeah,
you have your Adam Brennans that can slot in there. You have now Will Fitzgerald, Sabawale when he's asked of it, Jake Mulroney as well. So they're like look Rovers are stacked with options. It
yeah. Exactly.
can't be underestimated. But as well as that, Trevor Clark's last appearance for Rovers was in that 1-1 draw against Dundalk
Yeah,
too. So that's another interesting element. That his next one will be against Rovers.
yeah. I don't know. What do you reckon for Friday?
I don't really like to do predictions
Yeah,
too
okay.
much.
Okay. Don't like to jinx it.
I mean, yeah, you just come back next week and when the results are the complete opposite, you're coming there with um, I don't know, you're pie in the face maybe
Yeah, that's true.
a banana peel moment.
Yeah,
Um,
there is that to it. But
I suppose more of what maybe I don't know, more of what Rovers need is just like you can expect changes, like what we saw with Drogheda.
yeah,
Expect changes from tonight's game, anyways, against Ignatia. What changes is I suppose is
mm,
the key element to that. I think you probably see Naj Razi return to the starting lineup.
hopefully.
He's been bright every time he's
Yeah,
come on, and Bradley was far from wrong when he said that. You know, just still obviously look he went to coma, it didn't work out, but
it's
um,
good to have him back, and he has been good since he's come back.
yeah, and as well as that, I think Bradley hinted in the past about that he would probably go again,
Yeah,
and he's shown the form of someone that will. And speaking of Will, is Will Fitzgerald.
yeah. But,
Um, will he play? Will he
he's
play
starting
again?
back to back games now, so I don't know.
Like I suppose it's interesting though, isn't it? Like because we keep saying, well, I suppose 2 games in a week is probably something he's not. It's something that he's not used to with
Yeah,
Sligo. So it might be too much to ask of him. And the fact that if you think a week from Drogheda, he also featured there. So Adam Brennan was withdrawn at half time, so I think you might see him there.
yeah. More than
Um,
likely, the fact he came off early enough, like
yeah, I think you'll see
he came
him.
off at the half, so I reckon that's most likely what that change was for.
Yeah, the good thing as well when you with Dundalk in mind, and obviously the trip to Albania the following week is that Rovers have 6 days between the games. And in
Yeah,
that sense, I know it obviously comes it's quite a quick turnaround with Egnatia and Pats, as we said, but the fact that between Dundalk and Ignatia, particularly for an away game, you have that longer period to recover
yeah.
might prove crucial as well. Sabwale, Pico, and Stevens all were the back three.
Mm-hmm.
I would expect some rotation there. I don't think I'd be quite surprised if you see Stevens return to the starting
Probably
11.
it seems to kind of rotate between him and Lee Grace.
I think you'll see Lee Grace back in the
Yeah,
starting 11 for Friday. Pico and Sabwale, I don't know. Maybe I think they'll retain their starting place.
yeah. They
Sabwale,
start most matches
yeah.
together. Oh
Um,
no, but no Pico starting because he's
oh,
so they're probably really back the back of Lee
oh,
Grace and the Stevens and Sabawale.
when the Stevens,
I don't know, like well, who else? Well, you maybe Corey back in the starting lineup.
yeah, Corey, I think.
Hopefully, we haven't.
If Corey O'Sullivan has no fans, I must be dead. I think Michael Neal will return to the starting 11,
Yeah,
probably in place of Greener maybe. But yeah, I suppose Greener did come off. What,
they're
half an hour around?
57 minutes in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
around half an hour to go. So Burke, will he retain his place in the starting 11? I see. It's at what point do you have do you put more trust in Afolabi to start?
yeah. I would like to see him start.
Mm,
Give him a start at least. Like,
yeah,
just see.
see what happens.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to take them risks on a player like that, and I think best bet is to just start him and just see where.
Yeah, I think look, you can always take him off if it's not working out.
Exactly.
And I think like obviously, look, he did miss a good chance tonight that he probably should be putting away.
Yeah,
You can't sugarcoat that. But if he can, it's also more difficult when you're coming into a game.
yeah,
If you're starting, it can. No, I suppose maybe each player takes it differently. Some might prefer it to be that impact sub. Some maybe need to start to kind of have that time to kind of ease your way into the game and stuff. But yeah, look, I think Afolabi starting with Noonan might be a good show.
yeah.
If we were the manager.
We're not.
No. Um,
We don't get the big bucks.
you still look, John McGovern's still on the sidelines. Saw
Yeah.
him today actually as well. He was at the match, so
No, nice.
yeah. So obviously still supporting the hoops despite being
man.
sidelined. But yeah, so
You
look,
can take the man out of the hoops, but not the hoops out of the man.
You can't do either of him. You can't take him out of hoops.
No, that's true.
He's still there. Yeah, other than like the midfield, I suppose is another key talking point. I said Naj Razi coming in. You would probably suspect maybe with Jack Byrne, Dylan Watt, Matt Healy, that middle three.
I typically think we'll see Healy again, I'd say.
Yeah.
Despite playing the 90, I do think he'll play again the full. He will start again.
Do you think he'll start again despite him being, I would have to say that three, I know the way the formation goes, he's the only one to play the 90, so technically if we're going out, he'd be most tired out of the three. Out with him,
Yeah,
Jack Byrne,
in theory, yeah, like that. But he played the full 90 against Drogheda as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and he played the full 90 against Arath. So
Yeah,
he seems to be has quite good fitness and is able to.
that would be like what he played full 90 against Ararat, full 90 against Drogheda, full 90 against Egnatia, and if he played a full 90 on Friday against Dundalk, 4 games within 10 days.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, he played the full 90 in the first leg against Ararat as well. So
yeah.
the last time he didn't play the full 90 was the FAI Cup game.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking for a second, was the last time he didn't play the full 90 when he got sent off.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, he just needed a break.
Yeah, he did that for himself more than he did anyone else. Yeah. But yeah, look, I can fully anticipate a tough evening. And anyways, Dundalk are never a team that just come and roll over.
No.
And they'll fancy their chances going to Tallaght, particularly with their, I suppose, rather decent form against Rovers this year. 2 draws from 2 games.
A draw and a win.
Yeah, obviously Rovers have to go to Oriel Park and what the last game of the season.
Yeah.
As well, so
that's the next time they'll play them after then.
Yeah. So yeah, I think look, this will be a tough game, but I don't want to say it's a must win when they're 7 points clear of the top. However, just with the 0-0 draw against Drogheda, just want to show now, obviously the return of form by beating Egnatia 3-1. I think you want to just build on that now and
continue to build.
Yeah, and it leaves the team in high spirits going to Albania as well, because if they do
just build that. You have to keep the momentum, really.
Yeah, keep that winning mentality, because look, they'll know in the back of their heads their European form away from home hasn't been good.
No.
And look, they'll want to put that to one side, but of course, the fact of the matter is that they want to just go. If you can go with two wins from 2, you're not going to argue too much, and you have that 2 goals cushion to kind of sit back and rely on. But I suppose Daryl Horgan is the one as you picked out. Obviously, he's the obvious threat, and he's probably the most threatening player of the opponents this Friday night.
Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah, well, he's got the most goal contributions in the league this season.
Yeah, and he's always you just watch him and you just see how much he can
change the game.
Yeah, he can kind of inconvenience the side, and Yeah, like it's Rovers lost 1-0 to Dundalk. Sorry, that was the
Yeah, it was a draw and a loss. Yeah, that's what I
yeah.
said.
Sorry, yeah, I got mixed up there. I said two draws. And that was a tough loss to take. That was the debut of the away kit as well. The
Yeah,
yellow, the one that's caused
bit of a stir.
a bit of a stir amongst the fan base of that yellow kit that has
The
kind of
third
green.
kit is it the way or the third? It's the
The
third kit.
third one, yeah,
Yeah,
the away one's
the
the
black
black
one.
one that hasn't been worn yet this year.
No.
It's August. The season ends. Well, the season ends 31st of October. It ends in October if there's no Europe. Obviously, if there is Europe, it goes to December. But it's August. We're 8 months in. 8 months into the year, and that kit hasn't been seen. So I don't really know why there's three. But yeah, that was a tough loss to take. So obviously, Rovers will want to come and avenge that defeat. And what it be? I think I don't want to maybe blow it up a bit, but could you say arguably that's a big step towards the title if the Rovers win on Friday?
I don't necessarily think so now.
I don't. Yeah,
No,
it's something just because then after that will be 9 games left. Pats won't be playing on the same night, so they'll be sitting there thinking. Well, they won't be thinking. They'll be sitting with 10 points clear at the top of the table.
yeah.
Obviously, Pats still have to play then. They'll play on Sunday. Um,
Mm, I don't know. I think it's too. I don't think you can say that. Yeah.
without getting carried away, and Rovers go to Pats go to Talca Park on Sunday.
Yeah, which isn't going to be an easy one now.
No, and to be honest, I can see them dropping points there too.
Probably, yeah.
But then
Talkers.
I suppose the other side of that coin is that Bows are level points, so they're level points with Pats, so they could end up just being the chasers then instead of Pats. And they go to the RSC to play Waterford, but Waterford obviously dispatched the last Dublin club that went there.
That's true. Yeah,
They could do the same again.
that's very true. They bet Shells last week, didn't they?
Yeah, I suppose they'll come in high hopes.
Yeah, they're carrying on from a win against Shelburne, so
Yeah,
and they've been in good form anyway.
yeah, and that and well slowly maybe surely they're
They're
slowly
creeping
but
back up.
surely creeping back up and nearly out of that relegation playoffs
Yeah,
from a side that went how long without recording a win.
well, they got their first win of the season in what, the 18th of May.
Yeah, that's what about around 3 months into the season, and that's when they found their first win. Now they could be putting Drogheda in a relegation playoff
Yeah,
at the moment. That's the closest to them. Or of course they're only 4 points off Galway United, but yeah, we're getting to the business end of the season.
17 games before they go
Yeah,
there. So just under half the season.
there's what
36 games.
36 games. Where was it? This will be 27 game. This is 27th on Friday. That leaves 9 games to go. And still, what, 2 months until the final game of the season?
Yeah.
It's a weird one, isn't it? Like
It's just
because
because the cup and stuff ramps up, you know?
at one point we thought, when it was like 11 games, we're like, there's still like say what 3 or 4 months left, whatever it is,
Yeah.
and then you're like thinking, how's it that many? How's it that little games and this? Now
Yeah.
9 games in 2 months seems.
Because there's the weeks. Well, it's not really 2 months.
I
Like,
suppose it's three. Yeah,
it's all of August, it's all of September,
yeah,
all of October. So, but they have, like, think of it, they have just time off and stuff for, like, Rovers play.
time. What they go to Tenerife as well.
Well, they have, like, the week off for the cup and stuff
Yeah. Oh yeah.
like that, yeah. So, there's small stuff like that where there's just weekends that are going to be missed due to cup games and all.
Yeah.
There's the new extra long international break at the end of September. So,
Don't get me started.
yeah.
But yeah, I suppose that's it from us. We're back full capacity.
Yeah.
And well, yeah, obviously Adam, you did a stellar job in holding down the fort while I was away.
Yeah, the solo apps.
Yeah, back to back. But yeah, that's it for this episode of the Milltown Way. As always, thanks for listening. Do follow us on our social media platforms across Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at the Milltown Way. Across all of them. If you ever want to get in touch, if you ever want to leave any of your thoughts, do get in touch. As Adam done in the last episode about reading out any of the kind of the thoughts, opinions of the supporters. Don't never hesitate to do so. If you want to do it for the next episode we record, we'll be recording probably on Friday after the Dundalk game, and we'll look ahead to that second leg with Egnatia as well. But until then, we'll see them.
Thank you.
Champions!